The story I've enjoyed most this spring isn't at the movie theater, but it does have a trailer. Watch this.
The first church that I was appointed to refused to accept me, and in fact said that they would burn the parsonage down if we moved in. The United Methodist Church struggled to ordain me, and it was difficult. Relationships were scary. Not only were we having trouble with the church, but we lost friends. We were losing friends to the disease, and we were losing friends because of the disease. The strain had broken our marriage down. Both of us got into inappropriate patterns in our life that nearly destroyed our marriage. And I said, well, I don't think I have a choice. And he said, oh, you always have a choice in life. He says, you can choose to get in the corner and feel sorry for yourself, or you can make every day count.
Shane Stanford is the senior pastor of Gulf Breeze United Methodist Church in Gulf Breeze, Florida. He is living a positive life. Despite having hemophilia and being HIV positive, he's here with his wife, Pokey. We're going to find out about both these names in a minute. But the first thing that jumps out here is Gulf Breeze. You are in the line of fire for this oil slick.
Absolutely. In fact, Gulf Breeze is on a peninsula that sits between Pensacola, where most people probably know where that is in Florida, and Pensacola Beach. And we are watching nervously to see where the oil will go. And we know that it can have devastating effects for years to come.
Shane, in fact, Pokey was telling me you're a host church for training the volunteers.
That's right. In fact, the company that BP has hired is setting up shop in one of our campuses. We have 3 campuses for our congregation, and this is just the first level of 4 levels of training, because that's how serious this is, that you have to go through 4 levels of training just to be able to handle at the basic level the dispersants that they're using to fight this. It could have effects for 2 decades, they're thinking, if it hits the coast.
Pokey, I know one of the positives here is that men and women who are out of work because they're in the fishing industry are some of the ones being employed.
Absolutely. It's our understanding that BP is first trying to help those who are unemployed or devastated the most by this whole process. And so, you know, they're doing what they can, although, you know, according to us and our children, I'm not sure that it's enough. We've grown up in an area, you know, our kids view the beach as a weekend activity, as do most families around us.
Yeah, it's very sad, very sad.
Well, we have to tell another story here today. It would be great to track with you because you've got really bird's eye view of what's happening with this situation. Well, needless to say, it's been no ordinary fairy tale, as the dedication to your wife says in the book, Shane. Your names, Shane and Pokey. Come on.
Well, mine is simple. My mother was a fan of the movie back in the early 19th. That's right, Come Back, Shane. And I don't know how many times I've heard that over my life, but
she was in love with Alan Ladd.
She was, thought he was just the bomb, as they say today, and wanted to name her child Shane. And so I was named Shane, and have heard more than one time people allude to the to the movie. But that's not as interesting as Pokey, you know.
I was slow getting here. Come on, you Pokey kid. And
were you an overdue baby?
Yes, I was. I was an overdue baby, and because I was a cash-on-hand baby. The insurance had run out as my dad was transitioning from full-time military service in Vietnam to being a full-time student, and so I was cash-on-hand.
So
and I've been expensive ever since.
Money issue.
That story's not in the book.
No, it's not. It's not.
Is there a Barbara or some other name in there?
There is. Yeah, Barbara Michelle is my God-given name. Barbara after my grandmother.
Okay.
So.
But no one
ever
knows her. In fact, her students at the university call her Dr. Pokey. So that's all they know her by.
I should mention that you are indeed Associate Professor of Education at the University of Southern Mississippi. Right. And I loved your comment that it is indeed a flat world.
It is.
Tell us what you mean.
I am employed and earning retirement in the state of Mississippi, yet we live in Florida. My employer is 3.5 hours away, and I teach online. So all of my students are online. I see them, I talk to them.
Meetings on Skype?
Meetings on Skype.
What a world we live in.
Absolutely.
I have to tell you, I'm very proud of her. She's nationally known, travels all over, teaching teachers how to teach in this new environment, and just does an exceptional job. The field is very lucky to have her.
What a team. What a team. And I was asking, are you still doing radio and TV, Shane?
We took a sabbatical for about a year from television when I took the position as senior pastor at Gulf Breeze United Methodist Church. But we're relaunching a new television program in August that we're very excited about. But we've been doing the radio blog format, continued that. And so this will be my 6th year that I've been involved in radio and television, and that was not something that I thought that I would be involved with, but have loved every minute to be able to connect with people who otherwise would never have been involved in the life of a local church, just as you guys were talking about some of the folks that you connect with here.
I just jumped to this because your teaching as you deliver is so rich and so grabbable. I had to ask if you used a prompter, which you don't. It just flows from you. And where can people watch these?
Right now you can go to my website, shanestanford.org, or you can go to makinglifematter.com. And if you'd like to see archives of the program that I hosted for 4.5 years, go to thehour.org, which is the United Methodist Hour. And so many different places. And of course, if you go to our church website, you can see them as well, gbumc.org.
Wow. And if you missed all that,
yes,
connect with us, crossroads.ca. We'll help you out. You know, this story kept calling me back. I would be out doing something, and it was like something was left unfinished. You know, it was like a movie on pause. I got to get back to that story. This is just a page turner. And quite honestly, I am amazed that you are here,
yes,
that you're alive.
Thank you.
Before you were diagnosed with hemophilia.
Yeah.
Was that in your family, Shane?
My grandfather was a hemophiliac on my mother's side, and it goes from male to female to male. That's the way the disease works. He had died when my mother was very young, and so they had forgotten that hemophilia was in our family. I was 6 months old, learning to walk, fell and cut the cord that is in the top of my mouth. It just wouldn't stop bleeding. And finally, one of the doctors asked, "Do you have hemophilia in your family?" And that's when they remembered, and I was diagnosed. Thankfully, I am mild.